Now coming to seed germination. What is germination? So let's begin with the definition of germination. Germination is a process in which the young embryo or the young seedling which is present inside the seed in the dormant state becomes active and develops into a new plant. This entire process takes place in three ways, that is your apical germination, viviparous germination and hypogeal germination. So first let us understand what are these types of germination and then we will do it in detail. Beginning with apical germination, in apical germination the cotyledon comes out of the soil and forms the first seed leaf. This is your seed leaf, cotyledon, which is green in color and helps in carrying out the photosynthesis. Then the plumule develops into the shoot system. In viviparous germination, what happens? The fruit, when it is still attached to the plants, gives rise to new plant. Means on the parent plant itself, new baby plant or new seedling or new small plant arises. Coming to hypogeal germination, hypo means submerged, suppressed, under, inferior. So in hypogeal germination, what happens? The seed remains inside the soil, do not come out of the soil. So now let's do each type of germination in detail. Beginning with apical germination. As I said, in apical germination, the cotyledon is lifted above the soil and become the first seed leaf to carry out photosynthesis. Now how does this happen? This is your seed pod. The seed sown in the soil. Slowly and gradually it will absorb water, swell up and the seed pod will rupture and the cotyledon is exposed. So this is your cotyledon. This is your radicle which is going to develop into the root system and this is your seed pod. As the seed pod ruptures, the hypocotyle starts growing faster than the epicotyle. So this whole part what you see is the hypocotyle. So this and this part, they both are hypocotyle. This grows faster in apical germination and this part is your epicotyle, which grows slower in case of apical germination. So you can say in apical germination, cotyledon is lifted above the soil and epicotyle grows at a slower pace. Coming to viviparous germination, this is your parent plant. This is your fruit. This is your radicle. Parent plant, fruit and radicle. This is the branch of your parent plant. This is your fruit. And this is your hypocotyle. Now what happens, as the hypocotyle elongates more, the fruit becomes more and more heavy. Finally it detaches itself from the parent plant and then on the suitable substratum, when they find the suitable substratum, they will develop into a new plant. Clear? Now coming to hypogeal germination. In hypogeal germination, what happens? The seed remains inside the soil. The reason being, the hypocotyle do not grow to great length. It is only the epicotyle that elongates, and as a result, the seed remains under the soil. So this is your seed, growing radicle. This is your coleoptile. This is your foliage leaf. They both are your epicotyle. So in hypogeal germination, the seed remains under the soil, the epicotyle grows faster than the hypocotyle, and then a new shoot is formed. Whereas the primary root which is formed from the radicle will perish in a short period of time and the plant will develop adventitious roots. So this is all about your types of germination. Now let's study about the factors responsible for seed germination. Now coming to the factors responsible for seed germination. There are three important factors that is responsible for seed germination, that is your water, temperature and oxygen. If all the three are available in proper amount, the seed begins to germinate. Now how these factors are responsible and how these factors bring about the growth in seed, let's see here. As I have already said, the embryo present in the seed is in the dormant state unless and until all the favorable conditions are available. But we will also see that the seed formed immediately, the fresh seeds that are formed do not germinate, or there are certain seeds which do not germinate for a longer period of time, even all the favorable conditions are available. Such state is known as a state of dormancy. Dormancy means a state in which the embryo remains inactive. Now when I say inactive does not mean that no activities are going on inside the seed. All the vital activities are going on inside the seed, but at a very, very slow pace. For carrying out those vital activities, seeds take in oxygen and liberate carbon dioxide along with very small amount of heat. Carbon dioxide and oxygen which is taken in and given out respectively are in very small amount, in trace amount, which is not even detectable. Slowly and gradually, as the favorable conditions come or the favorable conditions are available, the embryo within the seed becomes active and start growing into the new plant. So the first important factor that is responsible for seed germination is water. Water is obtained from the environment, that is your soil, in natural conditions. Otherwise we can soak the soil and sow it for a quicker germination. Now what happens, what are the two functions of water? The water present in the surrounding is absorbed in by the seed to generate a pressure inside them so that the seed coat can break open and the radicle can come out and form the root system. Water usually is absorbed throughout the surface of the seed by imbibition, but most of the water enter through micropyle. So the main function of water is it helps the seed to absorb water and rupture the seed coat. And the second function is it activates the enzyme. As soon as the water is available to the seed, it activates the enzyme and helps in carrying out the hydrolysis of food, that is the food stored in cotyledon and endosperm is changed into usable form and helps the embryo to grow into a new seedling. The second important factor is your temperature. Most of the plants grow well between 25 degrees centigrade to 35 degrees centigrade. This is known as optimum temperature. Though some of the plants have more adapted itself to very low and very high temperature, but most of the plants grow well between 25 to 35 degrees centigrade. Now what happens if high temperature is available? If the temperature is very high, the enzymes become denatured. They are made up of protein, so they coagulate. As a result, the enzyme needed for various reaction is not available. And if the temperature is too low, what happens in that case? In that case, the activities the vital activity slows down considerably, which is not at all good for the plant health. As a result, the plant may die out. So, most of the plants require suitable temperature, which is between 25 degrees centigrade and 35 degrees centigrade. Coming to the last important factor, that is your oxygen. Now we all know during germination, what is germination? Germination is growth of new plant. When the plant is growing means what happens? There is rapid cell division taking place, adding in more and more number of cells. And for this cell division to take place, energy is required, and that energy is obtained from the process of respiration. And for the respiration to take place, we need oxygen. And this oxygen is available from air. And in plants, especially we are talking about the plants, so this oxygen is also available from the photosynthesis process. Now, how do we know water, temperature and oxygen is the main requirement for seed germination? There are many experiments available, and one of them being the most important one is 3-bean seed experiment. 3-bean seed experiment. Now in this experiment what happens? We take a beaker filled with water. So this is your beaker, water, this is your glass slide, and the 3 seeds. Let us label the seed as seed A, seed B and seed C. These 3 seeds are tied at various heights. They are tied in such a way that one of the seed, that is your seed C, is totally submerged in water. Seed B is half in water and half in air, and seed A is absolutely in air. It is not at all in touch of water. Keep this setup as it is for a week, and what do you observe? After some time, the seed C, it has germinated. You can see a small radical coming out. This seed has suitable temperature and water, but it does not get the air. So though it germinates, after some time it dies out. When I talk about seed A is totally in air. So it is getting suitable temperature, it is getting a proper amount of oxygen as well. But it is not getting any amount of water. The seed is absolutely dry, and since there is no availability of water, no enzymatic activities takes place, and hence no growth is seen. But if I look at seed number B, what I find, half of the seed is above it and half of the seed is dipped in water. As a result, it gets proper amount of oxygen, suitable temperature and water. Since all the 3 factors are available, the seed starts to grow into radical and plume. It germinates, develops a small root system and small shoot system. So this experiment proves that all the 3 factors are necessary, that is your water, suitable temperature and oxygen. All the 3 factors are necessary for seed germination. So this is all about the topic, the seed and the seed germination. With this we come to an end of this chapter. In the next video we will begin with the new topic. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.